Hi, everyone, and welcome to SideQuest 19 of High Scores, High Stakes, the podcast that has all the right building blocks but keeps leaving gaps in it. I'm your host, as always, Mr. L'il Luvva, and with me is my co host.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Tomahawk here. Good to be back. How are you today, lover?
I'm very well, mate. Yeah. How are you, mate? All good?
Good stuff. Yeah, no, can't complain. I'm ready for more gaming. I'm ready for an actual competition.
An
We're
actual
back. We're doing actual gameplay this week.
competition again with this one. With this one. um, this is actually my oldest. This is Little Lover, the infamous Little Lover, famous all over the internet. How are you, little man?
I'm good.
You're good? And you have
Good
wanted
to
to
see
come on
you.
this podcast for a very long time, haven't you, mate?
Yeah, like 2 months.
Like 2 months, at least 2 months. At least. I promised him 2 months ago, in fairness.
That's it. It's in public record now. It was mentioned on a previous episode, and he's come good. So
Yep.
welcome, little lover.
He's come good and he's brought the fire with him. He's give us a challenge, Tom. He wants to take on the podcast. He wants to beat the podcast. He wants to succeed where men, women, and other
Now, children.
have failed. So yeah, he's like, I want to play this game. We changed that game this week, didn't we, little man?
Yeah, Thursday.
It was Sonic the Hedgehog, but it is now Tetris Effect. And he wants to do a high score challenge with us too, so that's why he's here today. But before we get into that, we need to tell everyone what high scores high stakes is, little man. Okay, so high scores high stakes is usually for PlayStation players, for friends who are competing with each other in a league table. Every week we pick a new game, we create a challenge based on that game, and first place gets 3 points, second place gets 2 points, third place gets 1 point, fourth place gets no points. That's what we usually do, but in our side quests, we have quickly realized that is not sustainable. Tom, I think is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Not a very sustainable model going forward, is it?
So our
It
side
seems to
quest,
be 12 weeks of games, 12 weeks of chatting nonsense.
and that's it, and that's what this has been. This has been a whole load of chatting episodes, and this one I thought we'll go back to regulation competition, so I will. But yes, that's what it usually is. For first-time listeners or for listeners who have yet to follow, subscribe, or like the podcast on the platform they listen to, please make sure you do that. If you can leave us a review, that would be brilliant as well. And if you want to see everything else we do all over the internet, the easiest place to do that is where, Tom?
High scores, highstakes.com.
Beautiful. There you'll find all the links to all of our social medias and other places you can find our content. The easiest place to find it. And that means in record time as well, I think.
That's
Record
it.
time.
Professional, very
Look at this.
professional these days.
Setting a good example
Did-
for the generation to follow us, the next generation of podcasters.
Oh, that's it. We should get two hosts more often. I feel as if the other two just hold us back at this rate.
I think so, mate. I think so. So without any further ado, Tomahawk, let me ask you a question. What are you playing?
Right. It's been a bit of a hectic schedule for Tomo this week. I've been playing, as everyone knows, Bloodborne on twitch.tv/high scores high stakes. Check it out. We'll not go too much into that because a lot of it is just me walking around Yarnum, not really knowing where I'm going, and killing everyone on the map and going, we'll call it a day there, guys. Thanks
What
for
now?
calling in.
Why
More
are we at the
recently,
table?
I have been playing Control for a guest spot that I have coming up in another podcast. So, Play Along Pod have their Get Wreck series. They've asked me to come along and talk about Control
Ooh.
and talk about the Dark Anthology's Little Hope as well. So,
Beautiful.
just finished the main story of Control, and I have mixed thoughts about it.
Indeed. I have made my thoughts on it very, very clear in this podcast. Not a game I care for. Not a game I care
like
for. Has
it.
its moments.
It's keeping me on. I think it's done this like a lovely little epilogue mission to it does an awful lot to keep you hooked in to do extra missions and all the side stuff. So that will be deep dived towards the end of February. So I would highly recommend anyone go check that out. Other than that, that's really been it. Bloodborne and Control at the minute. I will say that second to last mission where you're in the maze, listening to the old gods of
Yes.
Asgard, was a quality piece of game playing.
It is one of the best pieces of video gaming I've ever experienced in my life. It is amazing. That part is absolutely amazing. I love that bit.
Like how it's curated, the design and the direction in that is so beautiful because like everything just works to a beat. The song, the gunfire, everything just even the shifting of the setting in
Yeah.
time with the music. It's like Remedy know what they're doing. Absolutely in that regard.
Yeah, I just wish that the rest of the game after that point kept it up there, but I'll let you talk about it on play along. I thought after that it fell off the face of a cliff.
We'll discuss that in depth anyway. So just a little teaser as to what's sort of coming up on our side at least anyway. So very good.
Yeah, lovely.
Good
So
things coming.
Control and Little Hope. Little Hope's a great game. I think we've
Oh,
talked
God,
about that ad
we're
infinitum
well
in this
established
podcast. What about you, little man? I know what games you've been playing, so I don't need to ask you the question. Tell Tom about Geometry Dash. What is Geometry Dash?
Let's hear it.
Geometry Dash is a game where there's various silly obstacles where you had to try and avoid.
Okay.
And as you play more levels, you get better and better at the game. And it gets way more harder. And if you keep pushing yourself, you'll get better at the game. And randomly, when you be like one of the main levels, like Clutterfunk, you would be able to say demons. Which I tried to beat a medium demon by now.
Yeah.
Very good.
And
How
that's
are you getting on?
So this game, we were playing Tetris yesterday. So we were playing Tetris, and every time he would stop playing Tetris because of what the level was over, whatever it was, he would go switch over to his wee laptop and continue banging away at Geometry Dash. How long have you played Geometry Dash for?
Like, it's really hard, but like
how long?
156.7 hours, I think.
What?
I know. He's like, oh dear, I'm failing as a parent. 156 hours. Do you know what it is? Have you any knowledge of it at all?
I've literally never heard of this.
Basically, it's like a auto running musical platformer. So you have no control over it's a square, and you have no control over how fast it moves. It just always moves towards the right, and all you have to do is time your jumps in time with the music. It's actually really, really, it's quite cool. Yeah. Yes, but this one's been absolutely hammering it since he got his laptop.
Consumed his life from the sounds of things.
150 odd hours, absolutely mad amount of time. But
that's some serious gaming,
isn't it?
Luvva there.
I mean, it's the only game he has on Steam, and it dwarfs every game I have played on Steam. I think my closest to it is H1Z1, which was 60 something hours.
Wowee. Wowee. Well done. That's we've come onto a game podcast, and that is certainly a gaming statistic, if nothing else.
It's mad, a mad amount of Geometry Dash, so it is. It's absolutely insane. Which brings me to me then. I have been playing the very, 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 very interesting Ace Attorney. I went back to that after beating Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, so I was like, let's continue with the Ace Attorney. There's very little to report on that. It's a visual novel, isn't it? It gets quite frustrating as well because obviously, I think I said this during the last podcast I talked about this, is when you take a break from it. So you sort of learn the rules and the logic behind Ace Attorney, and then you take a break from it. You go back, and you have to relearn all of its logic and rules, and makes it quite a wee frustrating experience. But no, it's actually the story is actually great. I forgot how good the story is on the Ace Attorney one. It is amazing game. But beyond that, I don't think I have been playing very much at all. Probably dipping toes into a load of wee games like New Vegas and stuff, just sort of chipping away at New Vegas and having issues with the performance on that thing.
You playing it on the
fierce.
Steam Deck?
Yeah, so it runs it.
Okay.
It runs it on high detail. 60 frames per second, not a bother. But then you'll go to, for at random occasions, there's no like logic or rhyme nor reason to it. It'll just tank to 2 or 3 frames per second, or crash the game completely. And really? I don't know how to fix it. I've installed the 4 gigabit mod and stuff like that, which sort of is meant to stop the majority of it, and it has stopped the majority of it, but still present. So it is, which is great. Get on Bethesda. Continuing to
absolutely.
support
Get
your
the
game.
fans to do it. Yeah, just get the fans to fix it. That's all.
Absolutely.
That's their mission statement. If
Yeah,
you
and-
don't believe me, check out Bethesda.com.
That's the most annoying thing about it as well. Is Steam has like a workshop section where developers can put their mods in, but because remember Bethesda tried that mod marketplace where you could make a mod and then charge people money for it, Steam were like,
Yeah.
no, that's not going on ours. So to get mods for it, it's Nexus mods, and then it's a bit more jumping through hoops and to install them onto your. Well, in this
That's
case,
it.
my
Yes,
Steam
it's
Deck.
just
Oh my
more steps to do it.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. But without any further ado, Tom, that is all we have been playing. Shall we get into the challenge game that this little one has?
We shall. But
has-
what we haven't discussed is the Game of the Month
Game of
Club.
the Month
so I think
Club,
we
thank you.
should actually mention that first. Get our plugs out the way.
Yep, our Game of the Month, Tom, thanks for the reminder. Game of the Month for January was Metal Gear Solid. That episode went live as a bonus episode on Friday, so if you haven't checked it out, make sure you do. It's a really, really good one. Which means that we have moved on to February's Game of the Month then. And February's Game of the Month is, and this is a world premiere, world exclusive, Tom. It is
Bournemouth, maybe?
Journey.
Journey.
So it is the seminal Journey.
Yes.
Can't wait.
I am intrigued by this because I did start it when it came to PlayStation Plus, and I'm aware of like the sort of fan service that it provides and everything like in and around the game itself. I'm intrigued. I'm really, really excited to kind of get into this with a bit more of a journalistic head on it, I suppose.
Yep.
That's what we're calling ourselves these days.
I don't know if anyone else would be, but here.
That's what I mean. We'll do it. We'll call ourselves it.
Yeah.
It's grand.
That's
But
it.
yeah, no Journey. It's a bit of a step away from espionage action thrillers. So a nice chill February. I
That's
think.
it, yeah. It'll be a nice, slow game. It's really, really short. Has its pros, has its cons. I think we'll run into more cons now that it's so old now, because obviously
Can we
it premiered on PlayStation 3, so it did. So it's an ancient game by
Yeah.
modern days terms. But it's a game I really loved playing back in the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, and I look forward to revisiting it for the podcast. So yes, our game of the month for February is Journey. And like we did with Metal Gear Solid, if you have any thoughts or feelings about Journey that you'll want to share with us, get yourselves over to highscoreshighstakes.com. There you'll see a Game of the Month post. Just click on the big picture and it'll bring you straight to the post, and leave your comments in the comment section. It'll be great. We'll read out the good ones. Because I have a feeling Journey's episode will be a bit shorter than Metal Gear Solid's.
I know, absolutely.
Just slightly less narrative and game to talk about in that one. So now that that's done and all of our plugs are finally completed, Tom, we can get to the challenge game that L'il Luvva has set for us all to play.
Yes, let's do it.
And this is it, L'il Luvva. You
Yeah.
have set me and Tomahawk a challenge, haven't you, this week?
Yeah.
You've thrown down the gauntlet. There's a game you want to beat me and Tom at, isn't there? What's the game?
It's Tetris Effect.
Right, so Tetris Effect. And what's the challenge you want to throw down for me and Tomahawk here? What are we playing in Tetris Effect?
So in Tetris Effect, we're doing classic score attack.
Okay, so we're doing classic score attack.
Whoever gets the highest score wins.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Easy, nice and simple sort of challenge here, Tomahawk. I don't know if you've noticed, but L'il Luvva has been, in the past couple of days, putting in a fair wee bit of practice. There's about 3 or 4 videos up there.
Oh, right. Okay. No, I'm getting these all loaded up here now, but he's confident anyway. He's
yeah.
coming in with a lot of gumption here of dethroning, I suppose, is the
Yeah. Do you
is the
think you
aim
can
here.
beat me and Tom at this?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think any of us are going to get close to you?
Tom's probably going to get close because
Oh.
it's scare. He said randomly his score was close to me.
Oh, did he? Have you still been discussing this? Where we try to get
been,
everything working for the podcast?
We've been talking off chat a little bit, and yeah, it may or may not have come into conversation.
Well, all I'm going to say is I'm prefacing this episode by he set a high score. He told me I'm not allowed to practice Tetris anymore. So he's abusing the powers here. So yes, he's abusing the powers. I have not practiced since he set his high score, and then he goes on this morning and sets an even higher high score. So yeah, so I'm pressing my score here by saying that I have been banned from Tetris in my house, but There's not much to say about Tetris, is there? It's Tetris. Tetris Effect is a blinding version of Tetris. Literally, if you're playing
It's
on VR,
fantastic.
it is.
I sat there pre-record, did a couple of runs just to kind of get a feel for it because I know that sometimes it can just take a few minutes to get the rotations of the pieces and everything.
Mhm.
The music in this game is absolutely incredible, and
Yeah, isn't
everything
it?
just works to a beat. Even how the pieces turn, the beat of the music slightly changes,
Yeah.
and I could have just sat headphones in all day, just vibing on that. I
Yeah.
was absolutely loving life.
Yeah, it is really impressive. It's a really impressive game. It is very simple looking as well, but somehow still manages to look absolutely stunning. But yeah, no, I love it. It was one of those games I played religiously when I got my VR headset as well, because the VR experience is just incredible. Completely blocked in visually with headphones on. It's just like next level
Class.
experience. It is-
Ultimate immersive experience,
Oh,
yeah.
what a game. But yeah, L'il Luvva has went classic mode, classic score attack mode. And it's just a case of get as many lines, get as many Tetrises as you can, and get a high score as possible. So I think what we should do in classic high scores, high stakes tradition is we need a baseline score. So I think without further ado, we get to L'il Luvva's gameplay. He can talk us through what he was thinking. We can talk through it as well. We'll see just exactly what sort of score L'il Luvva has given us to beat here. So let's get to
Perfect.
that. So this is it, our baseline Tetris run, Tomahawk, and it is L'il Luvva. He's going to set the score for me and you to beat then. And we have just noticed when we queued up this video that L'il Luvva has decided to start at speed level 5 rather than speed level 0. Why?
Because level 0 is way too easy.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough.
It's way too easy to start at speed
So-
level 0.
So, and I decided to start level 5 because level 0 would be too easy, and I also don't prefer level 0 speed, and level 5 speed just feels good enough. And I was like,
Fair
good
play.
enough.
Okay.
It's a man that shouts confidence there, and I love it.
A confident introduction to L'il Luvva's gameplay here. Shall we hit play and you can talk us through what you're
Yeah.
doing and what your sort of tactics were, little man?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's have a
let's go. Hit
look-see.
that play button, Tomahawk. Here we go. So here we go. We're starting nice and easy, just trying to get our blocks in where you need them. Yeah.
I got a place I don't know what to do, so I did that. And then I got a few Tetrises before I messed up at level 5.
Okay. Okay. So what you did here is you're trying to set up yourself for as many Tetrises as possible. Yeah.
Kind of.
Why are you going for Tetrises? What's so important about getting Tetrises in this game?
Because they give you about 9,000 at level 5.
Oh, okay. So you get 9,000 per Tetris at level 5.
Yeah,
Has that got anything to do with you starting at level 5?
because Tetrises give you more points the higher you are.
Okay.
I'm starting to think that we're gonna be schooled in this now.
I mean, we have our work cut out for us. I have seen some of his practice runs, and some of them are pretty good scores, to be honest. It took us some time to learn how to play Tetris, didn't it, wee man? Because someone plays Tetris to get nothing but Tetrises, and he very quickly learned that that's not possible in Tetris, where it is designed to be imperfect. But he seems to be doing all right here, setting himself up for Tetris after Tetris after Tetris.
He's absolutely flying now. Looking at that, there's a game plan, and it's nice and even. Everything has its home. It's
Yes.
not. We're not being overwhelmed with pieces in the wrong place, which is good to see.
Which is the opposite of what you'll see in my gameplay. I just
Oh,
put blocks here, there, and
absolutely.
everywhere. So that was
There's
that was your first
no-
Tetris there, little man.
Yeah.
So it was.
And I don't get a Tetris too far after.
Oh, okay. That's
Oh,
all like
wow,
40.
that's- this
Because the
man is
score is
screaming.
already 9,000
And
and he
I
has 12
al-
lines.
Now I have 16,000.
Now you have 16,000.
Oh, good grief!
And
I
you've
feel
got
as if we're
6
in for it now.
Too
Yes.
nice. Only 16.
So what's your game plan here, little man? So you're
So my game plan was to get as much Tetrises as possible before I miss piece and I get a bit too high.
okay. So you're just trying to get as high a score as possible without going too hard up the screen.
without going too high.
So you're trying not to top out, obviously.
So I'm trying to, and then I misplaced a random piece, so I went for singles instead of Tetrises
Okay.
because I got a mispiece, and now I had a bird.
Okay. I feel like we should explain what a Tetris is, just in case someone out there has never played Tetris and be living under a rock their entire life. What's a Tetris, little
A
man?
Tetris gives you the most points in the game,
But-
which compared singles and doubles.
But what
and
is a Tetris? How many lines disappear at the same time with a Tetris?
4
4. Okay. So a Tetris is 4 lines disappearing at the same time.
at the whole same time.
Yeah.
But you don't get Tetris too often.
No.
Well, I get Tetris kind of often.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really
That
cool listening
works.
to it as well. The audio, the actual like the music starts to just have this like panicky pulsation to it now.
Yeah.
And I think definitely whenever it comes to mine, you can see where when the music changes, the panicked decisions start to come into play. Definitely.
Yes. What I love about this game is it clearly uses like royalty free music, but it puts that like boom, like bass line over the top of it, and it like synthesizes with the visuals an awful lot as well. It looks and sounds amazing. And when you put on a VR headset to play this game, it's like honestly, it's like out of body, it's transcendent experience where everything
Oh,
is just a
incredible.
geometric shape. It's incredible. This game is so much fun. So it is. Why do you want to play this game rather than Sonic, little man?
Because I'm preferring Mario a bit more now.
Oh, okay. But why Tetris then? Why Tetris? What would you go?
Because
you know what? Let's play
because I
Tetris.
one time I watched a Tetris video, and when I was 8, and I was like, that looks so fun. I want to play that.
Yeah.
That's
So-
it. You've got them hooked in early, lover. This is it.
This is it, mate. It's what it's all about at the end of the day. So it is.
Generational gaming
That's
at
it.
its finest.
That's it. That's it. But he plays the games he likes.
tell
Tetris
you
is a
what.
game I play not very often, but it's been a big hit in this house for the past week, 2 weeks.
He's hammering home the lines now as well.
Mm-hmm. Just going for the singles and doubles here, so he is to try and get the score as high as possible. And his score's not bad, in fairness. 29,700.
See, I have no baseline really at the minute. It's only until I'm seeing this I'm thinking, right, okay, this is actually quite what I would imagine is a high score, to be honest. But
Mm-hmm.
outside of the realm of this challenge, I'm very unsure as to what would constitute as a good score. I imagine when you kind of get into the higher, like 500,000 plus scores.
I would imagine so, yeah. Yeah.
Imagine if I got that one then. That would be so insane.
That would be good. But you got close there. You were pretty high up the screen there, little man. You're near topped out. But you've pulled it back by just getting singles and doubles. And you're just continuing on getting those singles here. Good play. It's actually
really
very,
nice play.
very calm.
There's no
looks calm
panic in
anyway.
it. Yeah, there's
No.
no panic in his moving, and everything has a purpose, and where it's going is clear and concise
Yeah.
anyway. So
Yeah.
it's been a good run so far. What's that, 45 lines in?
You're 45 lines in. 31,200 is the score.
This is my best score by far ever.
Yeah.
And then randomly, I topped out around 50 lines in.
Oh.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Spoiler alert.
So we're in the end game
We're in
then
the end
anyway.
game here, yeah. We're in a post Tetris world.
Always starts to.
But like even now, it just looks all so calm and calculated, I think is the word to use.
It's got a really nice like piece assembly as well. Like there's a lot of them. They're coming up in a good sequence as well. Whereas I think I always struggled with like trying to make everything perfect, but then by doing that,
Yeah,
nothing was perfect. All
Yeah.
the wrong pieces showed up at the wrong
the wrong
time. So
and that's us. We have topped out there. We hit the pause button. No. But yeah, that is your highest score. So it is. Just let it continue on a wee bit more, Tom, just to get to
yeah,
the actual score. I'm sure he knows it off by heart.
32,813.
That's not bad.
that's a
That-
very nice score.
That's not bad at all. That is a
Tom,
nice score.
You said you were close. Am I in front or you're in front? You're in front.
Oh, I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't
know if we can-
remember.
I don't know if we can say that yet. You know,
I'm like,
If-
you gotta have 30,000 points or over.
Mm.
And you only
32.
get D's, Daddy.
I do.
I'm just
only get
one
D's in
step
this game.
ahead.
I do. I only get D grades in this game. That is my grade. So
Can I
it is.
play the game
Especially since
too?
you've been banned.
I know, like, actually banned from playing Tetris in my own
Why?
house. Tomahawk. This is just shambolic.
Shocking behavior, yeah, that's
Absolutely
it.
shocking.
You know what?
Why?
We get all these guests. We get all these guests come onto the podcast. They try and peg us back. They always try and make us work for it now. But
Change the
we just-
rules on
yeah,
the fly.
that's it. Change it to suit them.
But yet they all fail.
That's it.
They
Well,
all
so
fail.
far they've all failed.
So far, yes, so far they've all failed. Who knows what's going to happen here? I have no idea. But yes, anything else you want to say about your gameplay, little man?
Yeah. But I have a question for you, Daddy.
Okay.
Why were you banned?
Ooh.
Because you told me that I wasn't allowed to practice any more Tetris because the score you have, like, spoil it for everyone, may or may not be superior to my score. Is that true or not?
You're allowed to play, but you're not allowed to practice before the podcast.
Oh, so I'm allowed to play it after this podcast episode goes live.
Yes.
Well, there we go, Tom. That's clarified it a bit. It's not a permanent ban. It's just a temporary suspension.
Oh, temporary suspension until the episode is released, and then you can go back to it. Then
And that's
perfect.
it. Apparently, that's the scenario
no,
I
that's
find
it.
myself
I mean,
in.
that doesn't sound
Can
like a
I
ban.
also
That sounds
play-
legit.
I mean, I don't know how. I don't know, in the spirit of competition, if any other, like, world organization of sports would allow this sort of behavior. Oh, by the way, Mexico, you're not allowed to play football until the 90th minute here. It's disgraceful, is what it is.
Terrible.
Right.
Terrible.
That is it for Little Luvva's baseline game. The baseline score for me or Tom to beat is 32,813 points. That is a grade C as well.
Can I also play the game?
You can play the game all you want.
You
son.
can play it all you want.
So
That's a
can I
great
do it
score.
with you?
Yes.
You can give
Imagine
pointers.
if I get a new best. But the thing is, you had to go from level 5.
These rules
Yes,
are just changing constantly.
no,
aren't they?
that's
and
it.
also, if you get a line of level 29 speed, then you get a 3 points.
Okay. Right.
That's
Although
what
I see
I'm
where he's
gonna.
coming from.
That's what.
I do see where you're coming from though, as well. Starting at level 5 because you can just start to build a lot at a quicker pace as well, and I think you're getting into your high score realm at a much faster pace. Whereas I think my video lasts about like 10 minutes, and I think it takes about 7 of those to get into
to get to level 5.
to level 5 at least anyway.
Yeah, the only thing about starting at level 5 is level 6 and 7 come around much quicker. And the speed of level, I
Absolutely.
think I've got the level 8 or 9, and the
8.
speed is just insane. And I don't know if I want to fast
Crazy.
track my progress too there.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah,
no,
but when I
absolutely.
tried level 18,
Yes.
when I was trying level 18, one time I got like a 9.
Yeah. Yes.
I was a second.
Yes. Right. Let us move on then. We will move on to one of our runs, Tomahawk. Whose run? We'll go to mine. Why not? We'll go to mine. So we'll get there now.
Yeah.
So here brings us to my challenge run then against Little Luvva and his spectacular score of 32,813.
That's right. Yes.
Yes, there we go. Obviously, Little Luvva is no longer with us because it is past his bedtime. So it is. So we're going to have to fly solo here. But in his defense, he spoke a lot of sense when he went into how he did his gameplay. So he said he started at level 5 speed, because he says 0 is too slow. And upon review of my gameplay, he is absolutely spot on. Tetris is not the most fun game to watch below level 5. So what we are going to do here is we have skipped forward until the halfway point of my challenge, because there's no point in watching 10 minutes of me getting hopefully to beat his score. As I prefaced this entire episode with, once Little Luvva got his score, he banned me from making attempts at Tetris, and and as a good dad, I was a man of my word, and I didn't play Tetris again. So this is my score. The eagle-eyed viewers were noticing, hold on a minute, this is in versus mode. Who's the other player? It was Little Luvva. He challenged me to a game of Tetris, and just coincidentally enough, this was the highest score I posted
Able
before
to muster, yeah.
he banned me from playing the game.
Incredible scenes.
It's
Like, I
just
mean,
incredible,
people
mate.
people talk about us changing the goalposts. Now, I never thought a guest would come on and
I know.
tell us what to do.
Such a small little guest as well. You can barely see him in the cameras. He's so small. But yeah, Tom, if you want to hit play, then we'll talk through what's going on here in my gameplay. You can see
100%.
you can see from the screen there, like I have made a few mistakes. I've left a few gaps in the wall. Where Little Luvva was going for Tetrises, which is 4 full rows. I was just, I'll take whatever I can get here. If it's a single, fine. If it's a double, better. I did get a couple of Tetrises, and in hindsight, it is probably worthwhile planning to get as many Tetrises as you
To be
can.
banking Tetrises. Yeah, no, I get like in desperation, maybe go for the
singles,
singles and doubles and stuff just to kind of either to clear the rows or to be banking points in the end game, really.
Yeah, but the way Little Luvva plays it, like he was driving himself insane trying to get it perfect because obviously the whole psychology behind Tetris is our human brains want perfection, but as soon as you achieve it in Tetris, it disappears, and that's what makes it so addictive. Apparently, is that the human brain is striving for perfection that can never be achieved in Tetris. But yeah, as you can see now, my score at the minute is 16,673. I'm doing all right. Bottom half of the screen, it's looking pretty tidy. I've cleared up a few of those previous mistakes, and I'm just sort of trying to get points wherever I can get points. Really.
What's this plus 12,000 under your score then? Is this just like a multiplier or is this something I've not noticed before?
I have no idea. Oh, it's the score difference between me and Little Luvva.
Ah,
So
okay, okay.
it's the score difference between me and him. Because he tried to play it perfectly and then went out pretty quickly, to be fair to him now. What I do like about this multiplayer mode, though, you'll see it on his side there. It'll tell you your drought. So your drought is how many tetraminos you've dropped without making a line.
Oh, okay. That's
So
a
it is,
really cool
which is a
statistic.
really cool stat. Like, yeah, because I didn't understand it. He explained it to me. He's like, "Oh, it's how many of the blocks you drop without making a line." I was like, "That makes perfect sense," and that is a really good way of analyzing your gameplay in order to get better at Tetris. Where were those blocks, and why was I not getting lines with those blocks? Really smart.
That's it. I think when it comes to my run through there, I found myself getting really like anal about R making mistakes, anticipating blocks, and then them not showing up. And I'm not paying attention
Yes,
to the what's coming next.
the next. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I remember playing Tetris way back in the day on the Game Boy, like, and the Game Boy screen was so bad. The next was pretty difficult to see in most lighting conditions, and I sort of conditioned myself to not pay much attention to that next box. In this version, it is a requirement to know what's coming next so you can pre-plan for it.
Oh
But
god,
I
yeah.
think I don't know about you, mate, but I find Tetris Effect really difficult. I think the difficulty ramps really quickly and the speed picks up
Really,
super
absolutely.
fast.
Although I think I said this earlier as well. I get in like the music and the beat where I'm kind of just like I'm vibing on that, and then I kind of forget that I've actually got to be doing some work here.
Yeah, yeah. The synthesis, I think it's called, isn't it? With
Yeah,
what you're
no,
seeing and
absolutely.
what you're hearing meld perfectly. It's brilliant. It's a really good version of the game. I love this one, and it is otherworldly in VR. It is just incredible in VR.
Oh, I would believe that. No, I sat here, I played a good couple, posted the score, and then I thought, if I keep this on the hard drive,
Yeah.
it's gonna rabbit hole and derail everything in my backlog. So, sadly, it was short lived, to be
Yeah.
honest. I think it was very much purpose built for the challenge, but I think I've had this on a couple of stints on the hard drive as well. So no doubt it'll come back into rotation at one stage or another now.
Yeah.
But
Well, Little Luvva
it's
told
a
me
funny one.
Little Luvva told me to delete it from my PlayStation 5, so I did.
Fear that you got better than, yeah.
I think he was worried.
It is such a good. It's a game to get lost in, but at the same time, if you've got other big titles
Mhm.
to play, this will because this is a just one more and that little dopamine hit.
Yeah. Just one more go. I'll
It's
have one more go.
dangerous. Yeah, it's a one more go game, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. Have you put much time into Effect at all? Tetris Effect?
Not really, no, a couple
No.
of hours really, but that's kind of just I think I was playing it to R&D for future challenges
Yeah,
potentially,
yeah.
but
I,
we're
I,
starting to panic now.
it's getting faster, and I don't know how to deal with it. To be quite honest, and that is it. That
Ooh.
is me. I topped out at 26,978, and even though I beat Luvva in this multiplayer game, I have not beaten Luvva in our challenge. Little Luvva is still in the lead, comfortably so, by nearly 6,000 points, which is a bit of a nightmare.
That cause for concern there.
Because could Little Luvva be the first one to beat the podcast, Tomahawk? That is the question here,
The
mate.
problem is now I'm in this funny catch-22 that if it's down to me again, let's face it, like
Mm-hmm.
no qualms about carrying the pot times, but do I want to do it against a child? I feel bad if I beat a child. This is kind of the problem I'm in now.
This is the conundrum. Do you win it and earn the ire and hatred of the internet, or do you allow the child to win and live with that
Be
shame?
revered for going too easy.
Yeah, this
The
is
problem is, I know that I put a competitive score on. I just don't know how close it is.
Oh. Well, I have no idea what your score is, mate. I am
Oh,
completely in the dark here. Little Luvva, he did single you out as his biggest competition in this, probably
I mean,
because he
it
banned me
stands
from
to
playing
reason.
it. But he did pick you
I
out.
think we just go straight into it. I think
Yeah.
put myself out of my misery. I think I'm going to circle ahead to maybe above the 4 minute mark.
Yeah, I think the
And
halfway mark is always good because it gets past the level 0, 1, 2, and 3. So it does. So yeah, whenever you're
so
ready, Tomahawk, hit that
we'll
play
just
button, mate.
fire straight into it. We're into around the 5 mark here, at least anyway.
Yeah.
And it's panic stations pretty much off the bat, really.
You're doing all right. Your score at this point is higher than what my one was. So you're 17,300,
17,000, yeah.
which
See, I
is,
did this thing during the course of my build, was very much build it to one side, then build it to the other side, and then kind of hope that you could just get many Tetrises.
Tetris's, yeah. Yeah,
And then
it's a really solid thing because the score for a Tetris is it's like 9,000 at level 5, I think it is. It's a big old chunk of
there'll
points.
be moments in this as well where you'll start to see that maybe I've forgotten that I can just force the pieces down,
Yeah.
and I'm just like letting the beat take me.
Yes, mate. Yes. I love it because when you force them down, the beat sort of minimizes and then comes straight back in full force whenever they land.
That's it.
So good.
I found myself doing an awful lot of needless rotations just to get the beat going again. I was
the
very musically driven in this challenge.
I don't know if you've ever played a game. Oh, lovely. We Tetris there brings you straight up to 28,500. Lovely. And you're right down the bottom third of the screen as well. This is looking good. It's looking good. But yes, as I said, I don't know if you've ever played a game. It was on the PSP. It was on. I think there's a PS4 remastered version as well. As well as it go. Lumines or Lumines.
Oh yes.
I'm not too sure. It's the same sort of deal as this. Only it's horizontal Tetris and it's all to the beat and synthesizer takes over and it's just the most it's just like a perfect marriage of visual and sound. It's brilliant, a brilliant game. Really addictive. Really
It's
addictive.
giving me anxiety watching this back now because I'm like seeing my mistakes like as a parent.
You have this random tar in the right hand side of the screen. It's taking you up to
And
about
everything has to be navigated around it now, yeah.
Yeah. I would have dropped that to the right of the screen, that Z-shaped one.
You just let me play my own game, okay?
Well, right now you're sitting at 29,775. So, you just crossed 30, and you're about halfway up the screen, and your speed's 7, which seems a lot slower than my speed.
Starts
7
to get
went.
panic stations here now.
Yeah, again, leaving a lot of gaps. Oh, I don't know how this is going to go, mate. It's close
Oh, I
though.
don't either. It's actually really close.
31,000. Oh, you're
Some of
leaving
the pieces just fell
gaps.
nicely, but I'm still having to like plug a lot of gaps now.
Yes. You're not getting the luck of the Tetraminos, that is for sure,
Yeah,
because you're
they're
building
just
up your
not
left and your right
falling.
sides. Oh dear. Oh dear.
They're just
Oh
not
dear.
falling.
Oh dear. Oh dear. 31,545. Which means our streak is over, Tom. Okay, so with that score, then it means in third place for this challenge was me with a score of 26,000 something. In second place was Tomahawk with a score of 31,500.
I don't like this.
But in first place by about 800 points
That's tight. That's really
with
tight.
32,312 is Little Luvva. Little Luvva's came to our podcast, a child, and has wiped the floor with the two of
By
us.
1,268 points.
Mate, that is.
And I can see exactly where those 1,200 points have cost me. It's just that
Yeah.
little faff at the end has
It's took
I'm
a
a bit-
year, but the
I'm a
podcast
bit
has
lost
been
for
beat.
words there.
He's gonna
I
be
say
over
we
the
just-
moon.
I say we just don't release this episode.
Hey, Bennett, never happened,
Yeah,
and we'll just
never happened.
We'll get in contact with some other podcast friends and see if they want to do a pod swap for this
let's
week.
let's find a little scrub who we know,
I tell
and
you,
we'll say that we did it. Yeah,
he is gonna be over the moon with that. I wish he was
fair
here.
credit, fair play to him though. He's do you know what though? Like, I think at his age, I wish I had that sort of gaming knowledge about stuff he was telling me and chatting to me about off record and stuff as well. Was just the kid's a bit of a Tetris whiz. Like,
I mean, I tell you, he discovered Tetris with that video about 4 weeks ago. You know, the wee boy in England who beat Tetris in the NES. He watched that video, man, and he's like, he's been playing it. He's been playing pretty much nothing else except for Geometry Dash, obviously. But he's been playing nothing else since. It's Tetris, 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 Tetris. So it is. He's just been flat out. He loves it. Absolutely loves it.
Is it complacency on our side, or is it actually he's
Well,
got a good bit of skill?
I
Because
have.
I'm not gonna lie, I did one. That was the only run I did.
I did about 3, not including that multiplayer one there that was my highest score. I know if I hadn't been banned from playing it, I would have got a higher score than him. But you know, Scouts honor. I said I
You gotta
wouldn't.
take the rough. You gotta take the rough with the smooth, as they say.
I said I wouldn't, and I didn't. And he made me delete it off the PlayStation 5 and stuff. So, but no, you want to know what? Fair play to him. I wish he was here because he'd be over the moon right now. So he would be. He'll be over the moon.
Like,
and I know
delighted.
tomorrow morning on the way to school, he's going to ask what the results were because he knows we're recording tonight. And I know for a fact he's going to say, "What was Tom's score? What was Tom's score? What was Tom's score?" I don't know what. I'm not going to tell him because it'll be much more exciting to watch the episode.
Drop,
Yeah, we'll watch it together. Be really
incredible,
really good. It'll be over the moon. So
He's
keep an eye on
he's
the
achieved something
socials
that
for
He's
Little
achieved
Luvva's
something
reaction.
that other professional podcasts have not been able to do. He's done it what every other guest has failed to do.
Yeah, he has come to the podcast. He's laid down the rules, changed the game at the last minute, may we add, because the initial challenge for this episode was a Sonic the Hedgehog speed run. If you remember correctly, he wanted to do Starlight Zone 2. And on
I would have put
a
in
few
less of
days
a show in there.
a few days before the record, he was like, "Can we play Tetris instead?" And I was like, "Absolutely." Which is weird because he must have been confident because his Sonic the Hedgehog timing was 31 seconds. So
dear.
I think the world record's something like 28.
So he's already not far off that pace anyway. I think keep an eye there, definitely.
The kid he loves his games and he can obsess over them. and get really, really,
Oh,
really,
that's
really
it.
good at them. And he's absolutely wiped the floor of us. I'm speechless because fair play to
I'm a
him.
bit. I genuinely thought you give it the pre-match amble and go, oh, it was tight. It was tight on the wrong end. I thought it was.
It was close. I thought you were going to beat it. I thought you were
I
going to
thought I
beat it.
had. See, the thing is, this is when you do one. It's
The Sherry method.
complacency on my side. I've done the Sherry method on this one. I've hit one effort. I've uploaded it. I haven't proofread it. I haven't thought, maybe no. Oh, well, it's well earned. I think he's come in. He's come in with a good bit of knowledge behind the game as well. Like so, and to back it up with a winning score as well.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah. There's not much about Tetris he doesn't know. He was nervous on camera. I think pre-record he was telling me everything. He knows what speeds the Tetraminos fall at and different speed levels and all this here. So business, the kid's knowledge in the game is frightening, to be honest. I've been playing that game for the best part of 40 years, and he knows stuff that I don't after 4 weeks.
That's it.
It's insane.
Madness.
But yeah, fair play. L'il Luvva. We can't wish you
Well
congratulations, but congratulations, big man. You did it. You told me you were, and you did it. Fair play to you. He was very, very
Incredible
confident.
scenes.
He was very
That's it,
confident.
yes.
Because a lot of the questions during the weekend was like, has Tom ever played Tetris? How much Tetris has Tom played? Can you see his play time? All this here sort of business. he was nervous about you. You're the unknown quantity. You see, he knows exactly what scores I was getting because he would listen for me playing it and then go, "What's your score there, Daddy? What's your score there, mate?"
That's it. Yes, that's it. He could scout that. I'm an enigma, but
he
come
knew you
short
had
today for a
me.
change.
Yes. Yeah, it's a
the
somber
ropes.
end, isn't it?
That's it. We're gonna have to bring someone in next week just to make us feel better.
all I can say is thank goodness we know him and it's not a complete and utter stranger who's come
That's
in and
it.
wiped the floor of us.
That-
It's a kid, and we can always use the excuse we didn't want to beat the kid. I mean,
Oh, that's
that's definitely what happened here.
I made it competitive on purpose. Yeah.
So I, I think all it's left to do, Tom, is take our disappointment, wrap it up, and put it away. And speaking of wrapping things up, let's get to the wrap up section.
Let's do it.
So that is it, Tomahawk. Another episode all wrapped up. But unlike every previous episode, the podcast has been defeated. After what, 50 weeks? The streak has come to an end. 49, 50 weeks?
50 weeks, yeah.
The streak
That's
has come
crazy.
to an end. It has been ended by my protege.
I tell you what, we're going to go into a month of mourning. We're not going to talk about an anniversary ever again. We'll count. That's it now.
Yeah, it's over, isn't it? The dream is over.
We had a good run.
I mean, we pride ourselves on being competitive players, and we've just been annihilated by a kid on our own podcast.
That's it.
Wow.
We're going to come onto his podcast in the future. We'll school him. How about that?
Just hold on, son. I need to put my teeth in. I need to put my teeth in. Get in that podcast, babe. My beard's still massive, but full white. But yes. Before we sink into a pit of despair and that's throw me. We'll recap. We'll recap the socials and we'll end this episode. L'il Luvva, congratulations, mate. You've done it. You did it.
Well done.
You beat us. But as I said at the start of the episode, if you haven't liked, subscribed, followed the podcast, and wherever it is you're watching and listening to it, please do that. If you are feeling generous enough, please do consider giving us a review as well. If you want to follow us on socials or join our Discord or anything like that, the best place to find all of our links for everywhere we are on the internet is highscoreshighstakes.com. Along the top of the screen, you'll see our logos. Also, there is Game of the Month. Game of the Month was announced on Friday with our last Game of the Month, Metal Gear Solid. Game of the Month for February is Journey. So get yourself to the website. There'll be an article there about that. Leave your thoughts and feelings on Journey, and we'll read some of the good ones out on the episode. Join in the fun. Why don't we play games together? Let's go.
Yes.
And with that, that's really it. Discord, get yourself over to Discord and join in the conversation. It is getting lively over there now. There's quite a few people chatting and stuff. The link to
Good.
Discord is in the description
Down
below
below.
here. So just open the description and click a Discord link, and it'll bring you straight there and join the conversation. With all that said, Tomahawk, I don't believe I've forgotten anything.
See you next week.
Yeah, Mrs. Luvva will kill me if I don't say congratulations again to L'il Luvva. Congratulations, L'il
That's
Luvva.
it, yes.
You've beat
Well
us.
done, L'il
Yeah,
Luvva.
we are not above congratulating our usurper, my usurper. Next week it's going to be him hosting this thing. Do not we could do for L'il Luvva? If you're listening to this, L'il Luvva has a YouTube channel, and up there he uploads videos of Tetris and Geometry Dash and Sonic the Hedgehog. Get yourself over. He's YouTube. He's L'il Luvva. LILLUVVA. Go over there and give him a wee follow. That would
Incredible.
absolutely make
his
his day. So please do that. And with that said, then I've been Mr. L'il Luvva. This has been High Scores, High Stakes. See you on Monday. Love you all. Bye.
Bye.
Right, L'il Luvva, you've
Yeah.
come on, and you've got the big I am how you're going to beat me on Tomahawk at Tetris Effect, haven't you?
I got 30,000.
No, no, don't tell people your score. No, you don't tell people your score. You just sort of introduce the challenge, okay? And you tell me and Tom how you're going to beat us at Tetris and stuff.
I don't know.
But don't tell us your score.